Yeah, no plastic across the board.
Okay. All right. Well, then good. I'm doing this in your honor, or because I overfilled my cup of coffee. All right.
Or because you wanted to flex a little bit about your ranking.
No, I definitely do.
A little bit. A little bit.
No. I was more thinking about the Seinfeld. I really was hoping that you took a little behind the scenes here. When I bring something up, which is rare, I always have a vision in my head of where you might take it. I thought you would take it to the Seinfeld episode with the Mandelbaums, where they have the T-shirts, number one dad or super dad or whatever else. You didn't go there. That's on.
So, no, Jason, the problem is initially what I would have done is a show that you claim you have not watched, which is The Office, where Michael Scott determined himself the number one boss and got himself a mug. That is more in line with what I think this scenario is than the Seinfeld. But you don't watch The Office,
I don't.
So I
never
assumed you
it.
Probably wouldn't have cared. So
Wait,
that's why I didn't go down that road.
You weren't accusing me of having purchased this mug for myself, though.
I'm not. I think your kids believe you're the number one dad, and you do a great job. I want to make sure I'm crystal clear about that. But do I think that you maybe saw something in a magazine or online and said, "Oh, is this cool?" and kind of pounded it into your kids' heads for them to buy this mug? I don't think that's completely out of the realm of possibility. If that's what you're asking.
No, that's not what happened. I do have one from my favorite coffee shop, Caribou Coffee, which does have ice cream, much like Burger King. And it says Papa Bear, and I like that one a lot better. All right.
It says what? Papa Bear?
Papa Bear, yeah, which I like.
Oh, that's cute.
That one. Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. Yep. And Paula's got one that says Mama Bear. It's a whole thing. All right, so.
And you got the cuddly little bears. Oh, it's a fun little.
And Goldilocks somewhere
like
in the mix.
Bears.
So Jaire Alexander's father, who had been outspoken to a degree on social media, but not in the same way that Christian Watson's dad is.
I was going to say, I had not heard a ton from him, and again, I wasn't paying attention. The Jaire story, thank you, Jaire, because you gave a lot of fodder for 15 hours a week on radio covering and talking about the G&G, because it was interesting. And I do agree with you. I'm starting to feel like the Jaire story, it's nowhere near the Aaron Rodgers when you bring that name up, but I'm sensing fatigue in our fan base on the Jaire. It's like, all right, enough, we're done. I did think, I agree with you, I thought the KBN team was fantastic in getting him and then asking very pointed questions to him. Kudos to the KBN squad. I thought it was really good. I did.
Yeah, I liked a series of their questions, too, including a couple that I submitted. So, here's my question, and I want to play this for you. Did this, to some degree, reignite the light a little bit for fans that this is now worth talking about? Because I agree. There was undeniable jaw fatigue. But once
we called it Jaffa, actually. That's how much fatigue there was.
I'm already fatigued by that. So the reason why I ask is then it comes out he gets 1 year, $4 million, incentives up to $6 million, which is still $10 million less than he was scheduled to be paid this year. And the KBN crew asked about whether or not he would have taken the exact same offer from the Packers, and his father did say he would have. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that was never offered. But here is what Jaire's father, Landis, had to say during his appearance with KBN on Wednesday.
Was there ever any conversation that moved things forward with the Green Bay Packers?
Well, I mean, they sent over a proposal, and it was like a non-proposal. It's like somebody doing a non-apology or something like that. Because basically it was structured with roster bonuses and things like that. And the way the structure of it was more of the problem than the money, because the money didn't really matter. We understand business. We understand that he's been injured. And we also understood that $17 million was we know why they would question that, being as he's had a few injuries in the last few years. So I got that part, but to not have any guarantees in there was where we had the issue with. So it wasn't actually the dollar amount; it was no guaranteed money, because it was kind of like if he plays every game that season, he probably could have stood to make $6 million, but he's not played every game in the season since he's been in the NFL. And that's not even, maybe he missed a game or two or whatever. But if he did that this year, then it would have been less than that amount. So I think it was 4.3 million base or something like that. I posted that on Twitter as well. But I think their thought process was they had lost something or taken a loss because he hadn't played. And I get that part too. But, it's kind of insulting to come to a two-time All-Pro, somebody who gave blood, sweat, and tears to you, and then to not have any guarantees. We knew the $17 million was going to be less than that. I only replied to people saying that he refused to take a pay cut, because that just was not the truth.
So there you go. Some really interesting stuff in there we can unpack. I want to start by unpacking one thing. The part at the end where he says that he refused to take a pay cut, that's not true. Clearly not, right? I mean, that I believe. The rest, if people want to have opinions on things, fine. But it sounds to me like they were realistic enough to know that he was not getting his $17 million number that he was scheduled to receive, $16 million base. My question is, would you have guaranteed any money to him like the Ravens did, given his track record, if you were Goody Tausch?
Really good pointed question, Jason. That's
Thanks.
A very good pointed question.
Thanks, you're welcome.
Here's the deal, and I'm going to pull a Wilde here. I'm not going to answer your question. I am going to state my beliefs and then let you run with it the way you want. Brian Gutekunst was done with Jaire Alexander.
Yeah. And maybe Matt LaFleur, too.
We don't know. Matt LaFleur obviously, does not make personnel decisions. But I think when you combine everything, and as Landis said a few times, he's been injured. He has not been able to. Everybody knew he was not getting $16 million, and that was where this whole trade concept never made any sense to me, because the only way you're going to do it is if you renegotiate the deal. And I think Jaire is probably looking at it, trying to figure out what his value on the open market under these circumstances were. So, as I was listening to this exchange with KBN, again, great job by the boys from 2 to 5 on our air. This was much more of a case of, is it better if you're Jaire, the Packers just come to you and say, you know what, man, just didn't work. This hadn't worked. I don't want you insulted. I want you to make sure you know we appreciated what you did. Thank you for your service. Good luck. Good luck. Is that better? I mean, that to me is what I want to know. Because would I have offered him guaranteed money? No. If you're going to, you could put some stuff in. I thought, honestly, he would have an opportunity to earn more if he played at the level that he did. I think that's what he was going for, and maybe the Packers would have given him an opportunity to earn more if he played 17 games. But as Landis said there, he hadn't done that, and I don't think he ever did that. It's hard to play every week, especially as you get older. So you have to look at it and say, well, I got $4 million here from Baltimore. Green Bay ain't giving me anything. $4 million, now granted, even after taxes and everything else, it's going to be 2-ish. That is much better than not having anything. And if I can't answer the bell, I don't want to go back to Green Bay and not get anything. That's just smart business by him. So the question I have out of all this is, no, if I'm Green Bay, I think the right move, and we've started to see this more, you don't want to insult your guys. Is it more insulting for someone just to tell you, we're done with you, thank you, or here's some scraps, and I put scraps in quotation marks.
Sure.
Understanding the marketplace and
NFL
everything
scraps,
else. Yeah. NFL scraps. Yes. Which way is better? If Jason Wilde, the Wisconsin State Journal comes to you and says, hey, man, we appreciate you, man. We love you. We can't pay you jack, but we love having you.
This sits a little close to home.
This is a completely hypothetical. We would love to have you, but we can only pay you in season. We can't pay you from February to August. You're only going to do games. So you're going to end up with a lot less money, but, will you? Or will they say, Jason, gosh darn it, man, you and Otzi and Polzine, and what a crew. You guys were legends. The marketplace has shifted. We just can't pay you. Thank you so much for your service. Boom. Which way would you prefer that to happen? Because I think, while I know we don't usually compare football to sports
writing. This is a great
writing,
comparison. You're doing a great job.
What would you want to have happen to you?
Hello, WISC TV3 and Channel3000.com. You would be the Ravens. And
yes.
And to further the comparisons between Jaire and myself, Channel 3000 and Eric Franke and Colin Benedict and Brian Burns, they would be my Lamar Jackson. You saw how excited Lamar Jackson was. He was really excited to have his old teammate, his old college buddy, on the team.
Burnsy is Podesta. Who's the owner? That's Burnsy. Lamar Jackson. No, Franke is Lamar Jackson.
Sure.
You guys back at your old days of sucking down fish bowls and making me bounce you out of there, that's more the Lamar Jackson.
So Brian Burns would be Steve Biscotti. Biscotti, I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah,
Is it like the cracker?
I think it's
like
like
cookie
the cracker,
thing?
yeah.
So, yeah, I would not – if I would have sought another option, yes, because
No. And we know that, but I'm asking you.
I would have
your relationship.
No. I'm getting to it. I'm answering you. Great question.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
My bad, B.
Spinning around. That's you got it.
I wanted to add to the comparison, and I thought we ended up in a good place with Burns and Franke and the whole crew. I think Colin Benedict would then fill the role of Harbaugh. But anyway, look, it was much better that they just said in January that, look, your contract says we have to give you 30 days notice. Here's your 30 days notice. Because that immediately allowed me to get working on finding a new home, which both financially and professionally was very important. So I don't know what would have happened had the Packers done that for Jaire. Perhaps he would have found an even more lucrative situation with someone other than Baltimore. But fortunately for him, much like fortunately for me with Channel 3000, he found a landing spot, and a good one. I mean, look, they've got a pretty good defense. I know they statistically were not very good against the pass last year, but now he's with a contender. He is with one of his best friends in the world, who, when they came for joint practices last year, the two of them were so happy to see each other and talking about facing off in the Super Bowl. Well, now they're on the same team, and they're going to come to Lambeau on December 27th. So, but if you asked Jaire, I'm sure he would say the same thing I am, which is, hey, just tell me thank you for your service, but this isn't going to work. And they did not do that. And if there's a list of things that he could be irritated with, just like there's a list of things that they're irritated with him, there would be, A, the offer or proposal or whatever his dad called it, which was probably insulting to him, and the fact that they didn't just set him free right away after the season, because I think that would have probably been beneficial. We'll talk more about this. I am curious. The question that I have is, for $4 million, that is not a lot. That is not a lot. That is, as Tausch would say, a popcorn money. And I have a question about the way contracts have been structured of late.
I think it might be that ring bologna. New ring bologna. It's pretty expensive up there. We got to bump it up. It can't just be popcorn. That ring bologna mac
the horse
and cheese
collar.
that they make.
I see Cousins has a fried bologna sandwich right now. It's like a special. And it's probably cheaper than the horse collar. And we know we love Cousins around here. Tausch, another place we love, and we had a great time on Wednesday, is Hard Rock Casino, Rockford.
Indeed, the new Hard Rock Casino, Rockford. Spent a little time down there. Our show put a little something. We'll get back. I think Jesse has the slips, and we will discuss those, whether we're idiots or geniuses. We'll find that out. But you're always going to be a genius if you head down there. Over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space. More than 1,300 slot machines. I think they were all full when we were down there. 50 live table games, and that sports book and a rock shop. And if you're hungry, Jason went with, what did you get when we were down there?
I got the barbecue burger.
Okay,
very good.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
I had the rib.
I
Wilde it. I got a ribeye on Wednesday, and it was fantastic.
Did you
got
leave in a
all
limo?
kinds of options at the Hard Rock Cafe. Council Oak Steak, seafood, bricked Italian kitchen, and one of these times I'm going to try that UU noodle bar. I love noodle bars. The Hard Rock Live Entertainment Venue, another 23,000 square feet of premium concert space, enough to fit Terry Bradshaw? Are you kidding me? Bradshaw's down there in a couple weeks. Can up to 2,000 guests. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90, about 58 minutes from door to door for Old T.
We will get to the Jaire conversation a little bit deeper here next. Here's my question that I want Tausch to ponder. Has the lack of roster bonuses written into contracts to be paid in March become an issue with some of their players if that structure is creating a problem? I will explain why I think that and see what Tausch thinks of it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is our
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is back at the Bog. Tune in all day on July 15th for our ESPN Milwaukee crew having fun and hitting the links. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is sponsored by Carbless, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, Fifth Third Bank, Cider Heating, Plumbing and Electrical, Gruber Law Offices, Welke's Milwaukee Florist, and Jet Out. Join in on the fun July 15th on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Summer in Milwaukee means a couple of things: Brewers baseball and live music. Get the best of both when the Brewers take on the Rockies June 27th, featuring a post-game concert by Nelly. Then the first 25,000 fans at the game on June 28th get a Pat Murphy Manager of the Year bobblehead, courtesy of Toyota. Get ready for a weekend you'll be talking about all summer. Get your tickets at Brewers.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
If you're a motorist of the four-wheel variety, please watch out for those of us in Wisconsin who do their traveling on two wheels. Adjust your mirrors to reduce your blind spots. Allow motorcyclists a full lane width. Use your turn signal when merging or changing lanes. And allow more following distance between you and the motorcycle. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
The deals are heating up at the Summer Savings Event all summer long at Cunis. Get the hottest savings of the year at nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis locations in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and the new Cunis Hope Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall. We have sizzling new vehicle specials on the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Or with one of our 10 pre-owned super specials. you'll be swimming in a pool of savings. Plus, keep your vehicle refreshed with our service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Brian Bohm, General Manager of Cunis of Oak Creek.
And I'm Bill Eater, General Manager of Cunis of Greenfield.
We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials.
And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive No Fear Lifetime Powertrain Warranty, included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases.
Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
Get outside and enjoy the summer savings event at Cunis. Start your search online at CunisMilwaukee.com.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. IndyCar XPEL Grand Prix is up next on June 19th through the 22nd. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
So, Tausch, I know the game and the way players are paid has changed since your playing days. But we were talking about this as it relates to Elton Jenkins a few weeks ago as well. Usually when you signed an extension, inserted within that extension would be a roster bonus around the start of the league year in March. A lot of times it was 3 days after the league year began. Sometimes it was a little bit longer after the league year began. But it was basically there as a blank or get off the pot type moment.
Exactly what I was thinking there. Yep.
So if your guy is playing at if you're playing at a high level, and there's no doubt whatsoever that the Green Bay Packers want to continue to have you on their team, they would either pay it as a roster bonus or convert it to a signing bonus and pay it the same amount so they could spread the money over multiple years in terms of the cap charge. Yes. If they were like, I don't know, Jim, that might lead to a conversation of, all right, you're due this roster bonus. We think you've underperformed or you've missed time. And it would be a tool to negotiate a restructure. Hey, how about we guarantee half of it and we give you some incentives to try and earn back the other half. You still have your base salary for this year, but if it's an $8 million roster bonus, we guarantee $4 and we're all good. Mm-hmm. Or point 3 would be, we're not keeping you. We're donezo with you. We're not going to pay it. And you're going to become a free agent. And maybe we'll see if we can trade you before that, but we're moving in a different direction. That was not in place for Elton Jenkins. So there was no decision to make in March, and now he has skipped all the offseason program, attended the minicamp but did not participate in it, and it is still an unresolved issue, whereas after you say we think he can be an all-pro center, when you sign Aaron Banks, if there's a roster bonus there, it forces you to say, hey, you know, we're moving you to center, we're going to take care of you, we're going to pay that roster bonus. Or work something out. In Jaire's case, there wasn't one of those. So he lingered on the roster until June 9th before they finally released him. Is this a problematic change in contract structure? Or do you think that it's not that big of a deal and I'm overestimating it, because there are two examples of two players in two different spots with the team that might have benefited, or at least a decision would have been made on them all the way back in March.
I understand your question, and I think every contract is going to be – Green Bay looks at it like, we'll give you 2 years and then we want to control. That's how the Packers operate. They will pay you, and with the bonus and everything else, it's like, all right, you're going to be here 2 years, and in very few exceptions, there are some, Green Bay will control after those 2 years whether or not you're going to be there. That's how they structure it, and most of the players go along with it because they get their big chunk of money up front. This situation, Jaire can be mad about it being dragged out. Jaire could have controlled things not as early as he wanted, but all he had to do was show up. You know that's why they ended up cutting him, right? Is because he would have showed up and that injury, and you pay him $16. So I can't get that upset that there's no roster bonus. There was, in Elton's case, I'm sure, a workout bonus that he gave up or he didn't earn. So it's different. You have to utilize whatever the scenario calls for. If a player feels like you don't have any guaranteed money and he knows that he's wanted, play that. If you're not wanted, like Jaire obviously wasn't. Like, if we just want to be honest about it, the Packers didn't care. The organization is crystal clear about how they feel about you. And it ain't about what they say. It ain't about the words. It's about if they value you enough, they will figure it out. And if they don't, if there is an indifference, this was more of an indifference. And that's a hard thing to say. And I don't think they're being jerks about it. I think it's just this is the business of how the NFL goes. And when you're hurt and not as valuable to the organization, this stuff happens. Do you think this would ever happen to, let's say it was Josh Jacobs or Xavier McKinney, someone that had monster years and you're counting on it a big way? The answer is no. It would get worked out. That's why Elton Jenkins' scenario will get worked out. It's obviously his scenario is a little more complicated. But this concept of roster bonuses, that is put in there for both. It is put in there for the Packers to kind of make their decision so that they can start looking at, well, what are we going to do at this spot if we're not paying $500,000 or $1 million in roster bonus to X player? It is a way to speed up the process in helping plan your roster moving forward. But in most cases, the Green Bay Packers know probably in December, we're going to pay this or we're not. Unless there's a catastrophic injury, which, of course, the player takes that risk on.
All right, so then follow up, and then we'll put a bow on it and move forward. You said Elton Jenkins is a potential all-pro center. Why are we still sitting here on June 20th without it resolved then?
Because I believe the Packers want to see how a season goes, and I'm sure Elton probably wants more of the contract guaranteed than what the Green Bay Packers are willing to do.
So how do you see that being resolved before the first practice on July 20th? I see it being resolved
as the Packers pay a little bit more in guarantees and Elton Jenkins gets a little guarantee for next year, but it would still not be enough that the Packers, if they felt would be better off moving on, wouldn't get crushed cap-wise. That's how I see it going. If whether or not that's going to be right or not, we'll find out. But Elton Jenkins, he holds most of the times the organization has 5 cards and the players have 1 or 2. Elton Jenkins is dealing with a nice pocket pair. The Packers still have 4 or 5 other cards, so the odds are that they're in a better spot, but at least Elton's in the hand. He's not where you're just getting bludgeoned, and it's like whatever the Packers will do is what I'm going to have to do. That's not where he's at. And at some point, I think the Packers realize, Elton's a really good player. We need him this year to be what we want to be. We're going to work it out. And I would guess if it doesn't happen before the 4th of July, everybody heads out of town. They'll get it done. What day do they report to camp? 23rd?
22nd is the day that they would report.
Yeah, but the on-field stuff is the 23rd.
The 23rd.
I
is
would
the first
guess
practice.
that you'll hear something either at that little owners meeting, stockholders meeting, or it will get done similarly to how Jordan Love's did last year, which was a couple days after camp.
We will see if Tausch is right.
He ain't skipping camp.
No, he's not.
He's not gonna just be handing cash back to the G&G. He will come in and his toe might be sore, or he might have a jammed finger, or there'll be something where he'll be there, he'll be watching, but he ain't gonna put a pad on until something gets done. That would be my guess.
Well, I can guarantee this. We will have a new couch from Steinhoffel's before he has a new contract from the Green Bay Packers.
Is that right? Is that
Maybe.
right? Breaking news: Elton Jenkins we get a restrike.
Well, yes, he's got until Sunday. I believe delivery is on Sunday. You can get your best night's sleep on a
They're delivering a couch on a Sunday?
Yeah, they deliver on Sundays.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I find that interesting.
Go to steinhoffels.com. Find out more about when they can deliver your brand new furniture. And you can also have them deliver a brand new Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhoffels, and you'll get your best night's sleep. During the 4th of July mattress sale, save $500 on Tempur-Breeze. Plus, you'll get $300 in Steinhoffels cash. The Tempur-Breeze uses exclusive cooling technology, keeping you up to 10 degrees cooler night after night. And Queen Breeze mattresses start at just $86 per month when you use Steinhoffel's special 60-month financing. So shop Steinhoffel's in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. One quick follow-up to the Jaire question comes next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025. Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. Looking to simplify your everyday banking? Our checking and savings accounts offer the tools you need, plus the friendly, Simply Local service you deserve. Enjoy competitive rates, 24/7 online and mobile banking, and real people ready to help right here in your community. Whether your checking balance is at midnight or stopping by one of our branches at noon, Great Midwest Bank has you covered with a variety of new and improved account options designed for your unique needs. Great Midwest Bank, Simply Local and member FDIC.
Kyle Brust-Norman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies, they're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Turn those hoop dreams into reality with Precision Sports, your one-stop shop in southeastern Wisconsin for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator basketball hoop systems. Installation of new or old hoops and completely customizable painted court lines. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
With more than 35,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served more than 5 million people globally. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Two Wisconsin icons are teaming up on a reworked classic. Cousin Subs and U-Zingers are proud to introduce the all-new fried bologna sub, featuring U-Zingers fried bologna, bacon, American cheese, onions, pickles, mayo, and mustard on fresh-baked Italian bread. And that's not all. Pair your fried bologna with a creamy cupcake shake topped with whipped cream and rainbow sprinkles. Now that's a better combination. Order both in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
On Jaire. I got a phone call after I was done with my segment on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy from Craig Karmazin.
Oh, wow.
Founder, CEO, Good Karma Brands.
You get a little nervy? Are you a little nervy that old Carmi was calling you?
No. I mean, have there been times when his name has come up and I was nervous? Sure. Not this time. I knew he was next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and he had been listening, and we talked about Jaire, and I didn't get to hear his segment because then I had to walk the dogs and get Sid ready for basketball and everything else. So, but he kind of gave me a preview, and it was basically, you know, as someone who leads a company that has been very successful and thinks about how you put together a team and there's no denying that Jaire Alexander, when healthy, is talented and good for your team. But given maybe some of the feelings, you know, you said it, that Goody was done with him. I think you're probably right. If you put Craig in that Goody spot, my question for you is there value in keeping someone even though you don't maybe like certain aspects of who they are or their availability? Because he's good. And ultimately, the bottom line is you need to win, and sometimes you have to have people on your team that aren't who you would like them to be, but they still help you win. So my question is, would the Packers be better off, even with his warts, having him on their roster or not? Simple yes or no. And I'm a yes still, because I think their culture can absorb someone like him, and they would benefit from having him on the team.
Here's the deal. It's not a simple yes or no. And for you, someone that is always on the skirts of you're always trying to find the gray area in everything.
I am.
Nuance. But then you try to act like this is a yes or no. It's not.
No, I just wanted to make it a yes or no, and I wanted to actually say yes or no, and I did, and now you're the one who's going to be nuanced.
It's ironic that you say that because it's not as simple as that. If and I'm not going to put Jaire in the malcontent category because I don't think he was. Now, his captaincy thing is crazy. Like,
that was not great, Bob.
That whole thing is nuts. Mm-hmm. And the fact, if he was Deion Sanders and he was doing all this and then he had a bad, he was injured or whatever, but you knew if you lined him up.
I don't know.
Then it's worth the squeeze. It can't be like there is no. If Craig Karmazin is telling you, boy, this guy is a huge pain in the you-know-what, but, man, does he drive revenue. I bet Craig Karmazin can say we can live with that.
His name is Mark Tauscher.
You could say
he's a complicated
that will
fellow.
work. We can make that work. And I remember when Charles Woodson first got to Green Bay, and he had not proven himself to be the depoy like he was in 2009. There were some issues. I'm sure guys were like, what the blank did we do with this? But it's sometimes you have to just kind of hold your nose and say, but look at what he does when he's on the field. Look at what he does when that's and Jaire was no longer at that point. So it ends up being an easier decision for the people in charge because they see what happens on a daily basis.
Sure.
And you say, well, you can what did you say? Overcome that culture-wise, or you can, whatever word you just used, I don't remember. You don't do that unless it is super great to your bottom line, and maybe you could say, well, maybe it would be. But it's been 4 years, man. Like, it's been 4 years that you've seen this, and it hasn't been. So that's why I think it was a much easier decision for Goody to just say, now let's go with our young guys. Let's build this up. And it's not as if we're getting Deion Sanders 1993 to 96, where we know this thing's Lock City. That's not where we were at, and that's why this decision was made the way it was.
All right, one quick follow-up. So my question for you then, if we're going to continue to use Good Karma Brands as our analogy, I don't know what department you want to put Jaire in. Is he a marketing consultant? Is he an on-air host? Whatever he might be. If you have no real proven commodities, because look, Keyshawn Nixon hasn't proven that he's a number one level corner. Carrington Valentine has not proven that he is a every week starter in the NFL, right? He started 22 games his first 2 years. He's a 7th-round pick. We always talk about this. 7th-rounders constantly have to prove themselves. He's still got more to prove. And Nate Hobbs has been a part-time player. He's been a slot corner. So all three, yes, I know. I've heard that from me. So you've got three guys that are relatively in their roles unproven. Fair?
Yes.
So does that factor in at all if you have Super Bowl hopes to say, okay, again, we have to absorb maybe some of the drawbacks here because of what we have at that spot? Hey, we got these great hosts from 9 to noon. So if we had another guy who was a little bit questionable in terms of culture that was going to be a host and worked in that window, we'd be like, okay, well, Tausch and Wilde are okay. We're good with them. They've proven over 9 years that they don't suck. But in the case of the Packers at corner, I'm not sure that there's ample evidence to say, no, we don't need a guy who we don't love for our culture because the guys we have replacing him, we don't know how good they are.
Yeah, but here's the deal. It's not as if Jaire is going to be a revenue generator for this team. They don't think that he is there. If they thought he was a shutdown number one stud corner, they would have gladly paid $4 million and brought him back. That's not where they're at. It is and you can disagree with it, and I'm sure if Amon St. Brown makes a couple of big plays in that opener and Detroit beats us, I can assure you that postgame show is going to be, and Jaire has a pick for Baltimore. Oh, God. Like, it will be Kevin King, T.J. Watt all over again. Mm-hmm. But the Packers looked at this, they evaluated it, and we're not talking about them viewing Jaire in that way anymore. Because if they did, they would make some accommodations to figure it out. They didn't. We'll see if they're right. Because I can't argue with your initial point of it's not as if the cupboard is stocked. The cupboard ain't stocked. But they feel, and this is going to be harsh, they feel as if Jaire's expired. So do you want to risk it, not with milk, but like with a can of beans? And you have it up in the cupboard, and it's way in the back, and you go grab it, and you're like, it's been expired a year or two. Man, we could probably still put it in our fajitas. I don't know if it'll be good. We got this fresh stuff. It's not the same brand that the Jaire's is, but I know it's fresh, and I know it's going to at least get us through and get us. This was a great brand, but we're 2 years past when we should have sold it. Is it worth that risk? And the answer is, at least according to Brian J. Gutekunst, the answer is no.
Well, we raise a Coors Light and say, fare thee well, Jaire Alexander. And if you're still healthy in Week 17 and you come to Lambeau Field and have a pick six on Jordan Love, woo, will that post-game show be an interesting one?
Well, we'll have a Coors Light with it, so it'll be all fine. Whether you're tailgating pregame or breaking down a Packer game postgame, celebrating a big win after the game, or you just need a moment to chill, crack open a Rocky Mountain cold Coors Light. And this weekend, going to be warm. Going to be real warm, and you know what you have to have when it's real warm? Got to have those mountains on Coors Light's cold-activated bottles and or can. It's got to be blue. That's when you know it's chilled to perfection, which besides the refreshing taste is my favorite thing about drinking Coors Light. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
You would have thought that Brian Bulaga was here, given how late we are to the 10 o'clock hour, but it was a good conversation about Riley's dating plans early and Jaire Alexander's situation late. You look like you're itching to say something. You're tapping your pencil. You got somewhere you want to start the 10 o'clock hour, or that was just idle tapping?
It was idle tapping, but I just keep coming back to it's only $4 million, and the fact that Green Bay wasn't willing to really do anything, according to Landis, tells you everything you need to know. That this story, while there are some twists and turns, this was not Natasha Bedingfielded. This story was written back in February. We just didn't believe that was the story.
You're not wrong. We'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Set sail this June for a boundless bounty at Potawatomi. Come aboard, and you might win a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Boundless bounty this June at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet? Landworks handles projects of all sizes. From a cozy pocket patio lush with greenery to a grand outdoor hosting space and everything in between. Locally owned and operated, Landworks prides themselves on exceptional customer service and a personal approach to all of your landscaping needs. The Landworks team of experts will work closely with you, making your property shine all year. Experience the Landworks difference. Visit landworkswisconsin.com. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Breston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And I just listened to Riley's Sports Center. We'll get back to the Packers in a second. This will allow us to get back on the clock. Murphy's Mashers?
Yeah.
Like, we got Bambi's Bombers.
Exactly.
George Bamberger, once upon a time. Obviously, the infamous and World Series runners-up. The Harvey's Wallbangers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Davey Lopes or Jerry Royster or Ron Renicky or Renee Latchman, Tom Treblehorn, Craig Counsell, the Traders. I don't know what Jesse would call them. But I don't remember any other nicknames. If I'm missing some, please enlighten me. Did you just coin that, or is that something that's out there in like the Brewers Twitterverse or the mainstream media?
I wouldn't say. Ooh, nice, Tom's Treblehorn. I wouldn't say it's in the mainstream.
Should have gone Bane there. Should have gone Bane there.
Yeah.
I'm not stealing Jesse's stuff.
With that accent, you definitely aren't.
But I didn't coin it, though. I didn't come up with that. I know
so
I've seen it somewhere.
It.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, I'm just being honest.
Okay. I had never heard that before, and I thought maybe you were on the leading edge, and we could get that to become a thing, as we have done with other things on this program. So
yeah,
all right,
let's make it a thing then.
If I may, why do you have a Tom's Treblehorn loudspeaker or whatever you want to call that thing? Of all the random things, obviously I am inundated with random things. Is there a story behind that you have that on your desk region?
Nope.
Okay.
There's not. I don't have a story behind it. It's a piece of memorabilia that is old and I think really cool. So that's why I kept it.
Well, speaking of really cool, Quick Trip is a really cool place to get a hot coffee and not put a cover on it when you're drinking it.
Oh, indeed it is. And you know what? We got this sweet climb. You got the Packers ready to try to climb that championship Mount Everest. It's a lot easier over at Quick Trip. Gear up for Quick Trip Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Every sip gets you a little closer to the summit. And from now through the 17th of August, play each day for free right in the Quick Rewards app. You score bonus plays with every eligible item. Ice Cold Pepsi, Bold Mountain Dew, Hydrating Gatorade or Propel, plus many, many more. And every week, the cash prize climbs by another $5,000. So stacking higher and higher till one player is going to get $250,000 to get it. You also, now, great deals going on, 29 cents a pound for onions and potatoes and bananas. You get Nature's Touch cream cheese. I was going to say ice cream, 2 for $4, cream cheese. But you also, I just saw this, Sarah and the kids picked up all these strawberries. And I'm telling you, fresh strawberries compared to, right, it's as good as it gets. And you can get that little gallon of Nature's Touch ice cream from Quick Trip. You get $2 off on it if you're in the app. Beautiful. We had that. I think we went through it a lot quicker than we probably should have. Head on over. Use Quick Rewards on every purchase, and you can order ahead. Quick Trip. We'll have to go see you again next time because we still got extra strawberries that need to get some ice cream.
I love the patch berries. The girls love picking strawberries, too. Love the ad-lib there. Beautiful. Nailed it. Really good stuff. Loved it.
Thank you.
We will ad-lib and talk about the number of open to the public practices that are on the schedule. It may surprise you that this has been going on now for more than a decade that this has been an issue. We'll talk about it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day, the Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Listen up, gentlemen. You're fighting an unfair battle. Studies show testosterone levels in men have plummeted by 25% in just 2 decades. That's why you're struggling with energy, muscle, and drive. But here's a game changer. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments boost testosterone by 30% on average. Imagine reclaiming the vitality your grandfathers had. Picture turning heads, dominating your career, and feeling unstoppable again. Don't settle for today's normal. Seize the day at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
For over 50 years, Cousin Subs has celebrated and embraced the traditions of their home state of Wisconsin. And now, Cousins will be honoring a Wisconsin tradition like no other with their pull tab giveaway promo. Now through July 6th, while supplies last, guests will receive a Cousins pull tab with a sub or sub-able purchase for a chance to win Cousins Subs for a year and much more. For additional info and official rules, visit cousinsubs.com/pull tabs. 1 pull tab per customer per transaction per day. To receive a pull tab with no purchase necessary, see official rules.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit TsunamiExpress.com to learn more.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's national park of speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. IndyCar XPEL Grand Prix is up next on June 19th through the 22nd. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
The training camp schedule is out. And the Green Bay Packers, if you include family night, will have 14 practices that will be open to fans. 14. That is 2 fewer than last year when they had 16, including family night. And I thought, this feels like this has been going on for a while now. So I went back into my archives, Tausch.
Oh, the archive. You don't want to be Wilde. You don't want to be getting archived by Wilde.
I'm going to start in 2011, which was the first season of the new collective bargaining agreement back then. They had the lockout, if you recall.
Mm-hmm.
It was also the first season that the NFL didn't have Mark Tauscher in it. Although we did come across that Lori Nichols story in which you were going to weigh your options and see how things worked out after the lockout.
Options.
Yeah.
Always got to weigh options.
But ultimately you did retire. In 2011
I was
and
retired.
The league retired you.
Retired. Yes, they did.
So you would have played in 2011 if you'd have had someone.
I don't know. I was never. No, but I was retired.
Okay. Sounds to me like if people would have called, you would have answered, and then you would have retired on your own terms. But you would have had to play a year with like the Jaguars or something.
No, that was never going to happen. But I digress.
Okay.
It was never going to happen.
Well, in 2011, the Green Bay Packers still had a season, even though they didn't have old number 65 on the offensive line.
It's amazing that I was shocked that the world kept going.
It didn't stop really until 2020. In 2011 and 2012, they held 21 open practices. Now, remember, the collective bargaining agreement put an end to double days. That was one of the things that went adios. Mike McCarthy had already put an end to his, some might say, harebrained idea to do a morning practice and then a night practice in the same day, and then the next day have a midday practice, and then have a morning and a night practice again, which, if my memory serves me, was not especially popular with you fellows.
We'll have less sleep and we'll
We
be
did not
grumpy.
like it, no. Okay. No, it was a really dumb format by Mike.
So the NFL reduced significantly the number of practices. So that's not a Packers issue. Okay?
Okay.
Nevertheless, 21 were open in 2011 and 2012. 20 open in 2013. 17, starting to see this going downwardly.
Chipping away.
2014 and 2015, there were 17 open practices. 16 open practices in 2016, and 15 open practices in 2017 and 2018, which were the final years of the Mike McCarthy era. Since Matt LaFleur took over in 2019, there were 16 practices in 2019, only 13 in 2021, only 12 in 2022, 13 in 2023, and back up to 16 last year. Obviously, no open practices in 2020 because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So they got 14 this year, but I do want to add, before I make excuses for the organization with the CBA, et cetera, they do have more than a handful, probably 6 to 8, I think, practices that are maybe a little less open to reporters, closed to fans. So my question to you, Tausch, is, and to his credit, Pete Doherty did say these words to Ed Policy. Pete Doherty, the columnist for the Green Bay Press-Gazette, did say these words to Ed Policy when we sat down with him last Friday, and it was, when you're a team that is owned by the community, there is a different standard that you are held to. So, this isn't the Ravens, this isn't the Jaguars, this isn't the Steelers, this is the Packers. 14 open practices. Too many? Too few? Or just right, Goldilocks?
So how many practices are there completely in the month of July 23rd through August 30th or whatever it is?
So I'm gonna ballpark because they've got one in Indianapolis with the Colts, which is the third straight year they've done a joint practice. Yeah, I'm going to talk to the people and see if that can work.
Okay.
So that puts you at 15 for that one. They had always said they would not take training camp out of Green Bay, but they've now done it 3 years in a row. But I like joint practices. I think it's the way the league has gone, so I don't think we need to hold them to that claim from previously. I would say there's around 25 ballpark.
Okay. All right. Listen, I thought it was I can understand a little bit of this. I believe when I practiced, I don't know how many times, unless it rained and we got moved into the Hudson Center, I think there were always fans watching, unless it was the day before the preseason game.
Right, and in fairness,
you're not giving
when
away.
It rained, they would open up that one garage door, and like a handful of people stand outside the building and get rained on, but look in during practice.
Yeah, people love it. And it was super hot, and that was always – you always knew it was a slobber knocker when your feet, not from rain, but from sweat from being inside the Hudson Center, you would step and your foot would squish because there's so much water from the sweat dripping
humidity.
From everywhere. It sucked. And then I can remember we had a practice about halfway through. We weren't doing the job, and Mike Sherman said, to blank with this, we're rebooting the whole practice. And we all are like, oh, my God. Those are memories that don't
Oh, Shermy.
So when I look at this, I understand whether you got to have security. There should be no reason that these practices aren't open. You're not giving away trade secrets. I know they're very sensitive about filming and videoing, and it's a new world. I get it. But the part I had more problems with was what just happened. The OTAs and the mini camps. You want your fans to buy stuff. You want them to feel, we're owners of the team. A lot of us have stock. We're not asking for dividends. We're not asking for rebates on pro shop merch. We just want to feel like we're a part of it. And I can't defend not opening up OTAs and minicamp practice. I can't. There's no reason for it. Here, you're going to have 14 out of 25. Should it be 20 out of 25? Yes. I'm kind of done fighting that fight. This fight is where it is. I think fans speak with their pocketbooks, and fans speak with, showing up. And the fans are going to continue to show up, and they're going to continue to support the Green Bay Packers. And if it's because the organization doesn't want to give away trade secrets or whatever, I don't know. What was Ed Policy's response to Pete Doherty when they said, open up more practice? What did he say?
Well, he never said open up more practices.
No.
Nice. He never said that part of it. It was more a general statement about the fact that you're going to be held to a different standard. And look, I said subsequently to Ed when he was having a beverage and I was eating a cookie, that they really play up the narrative of we're owned by the fans, we're owned by the community, we're the only community-owned team in sports. But I don't feel like that their actions fit that narrative. They don't seem to care that much. They like the storyline, but I don't think they care as much about actually living that storyline. And we had a good debate back and forth. It was an off-the-record debate, but it was a good debate. It was healthy.
Okay.
But we did not broach the number of open practices. Again, that sounds like another really good question to ask him the next time he speaks, which will be after the shareholders meeting on the 25th of July. So it'll be and how concerned are you about the team leaving town?
I just want to understand. If you have good reasonings for it, I'm open to hearing it. But it goes against everything that actually makes sense. And usually when I ask a question, why someone's doing something, the answer inevitably when it becomes professional sports is money.
Yeah.
But this is the exact opposite of that.
Correct.
You get more people more excited to come and spend money at your pro shop and at your Titletown district and in your city. So I can't fathom. I just don't get it. And I want to understand. So I'm not going to sit here and be obtuse and say, how dare you not do it? Explain to me. I want explanations as far as why this would make any sense. And for certain, the mini camp and OTAs, I'm sorry. You ain't going to give me an explanation that makes any sense. Oh, we don't want to put pressure on these rookies, or we don't want. Hey, welcome to the city, my friends. It's fun, and your fans just want to have some glimpses of your team. And if you're already in June running stuff against the Detroit Lions and you want to do that, go into Hudson Center and go do a walkthrough. I get it. But I want someone that's a lot smarter than I am when it comes to this stuff to explain, why are you doing this? What is the benefit of it? Because you don't do it if it isn't a benefit to someone or something. And I can assure you, fans want to watch their team practice. People plan their summer trips around coming to Lambeau and around coming to Clark Hinkle and spending money at the pro shop and eating at their restaurant and going to all the stuff, the Packer Athletic Club and all this. You got all of it. All right, great. Open a practice up. Explain to me what you're doing, and maybe I'll be open to hearing it. But it doesn't make any sense to any of us that are watching this from a 30,000 square foot picture.
An interesting question was posed by Cheesehead TV yesterday that I am going to read and have our fans react to, because this distills Tausch's point down into a pithy tweet. I will read that to you after Tausch tells us about American Family Insurance.
Well, we love American Family. Great partner of the Green Bay Packers, of the Badgers, of the Brewers. American Family Insurance is a proud partner of Wilde and Tausch, and for almost 100 years, they have been committed to making life better with the right home and auto protection. All so you're free to enjoy your dreams. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. That is the carbless talk and text line. Are you, as a Packers fan, bothered? Maybe that's a little bit strong of a word.
That's strong.
Would you have one you prefer?
I just want an
confused by? Perplexed
by? I am confused. Yes. I don't understand why an organization that is worried about revenue and, worried about staying in Green Bay. You know what helps you stay in Green Bay? Driving more revenue and having a strong commitment to your community and having that community feel like they're a part of the team. Nobody does it better than the Green Bay Packers. Nobody. This goes against all of that. Explain to me why you're doing it. And I want to hear it because I love to learn. I love to understand. I don't in either of these scenarios.
844-770-3776. Are you disappointed? Are you frustrated? Are you angry? Are you ambivalent about it? Are you perplexed by it? Whatever it might be.
I'm perplexed.
That is the carbless talk and text line, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. We shall get your thoughts next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with an offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous.
You've got this.
Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Joe Fortenbaugh.
That dinner bill has come due for the great city of Boston for 2 decades of running through the rest of us in every major professional sport. Look at what's happened over the last few months. Tatum Achilles injury. Boston Bruins trade Brad Marchand to the Florida Panthers. You come to the Red Sox. This was supposed to be a year that they were going to compete. They finally get hot and they trade their best player away for nothing. And do we even need to mention the Patriots? Fell apart with the Brady-Belichick relationship. Watch Brady win in Tampa, then watch Belichick flounder the last few years. Mayo comes in for a year. He's run out. Boston sports has owned the rest of us for 2 decades. Feel free to relish in their misery now, watching it all burn down and fall apart, because that's the most expensive dinner bill of all time that's finally come due.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Something amazing is happening when power outages strike. Teams are powering through them. That's because CDW Solutions architects are building more resilient IT and electrical infrastructures with Schneider Electric. With EcoCare remote monitoring services and 24/7 support, your organization can do more than keep the lights on. Schneider Electric and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Schneider Electric.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
From the Cheesehead TV Twitter feed, I got a 3rd-degree sunburn, highly intoxicated at 1919 Kitchen and Tap, and then maxed out my credit card at the Pro Shop last summer. Does Ed Policy not want that? Do the Packers hate money? Now you know why I use this tweet, because it's way more creative than I could ever be.
Yeah, it's a good tweet.
But, fair point. Like, obviously, a little flamboyant and over the top, but 100% true. See if you can follow me on this. The more practices you have open to fans, the more fans come to your area. The more fans who come to your area, the more money they spend, the more money you make as an organization, and the restaurants and everything else around the area, including Titletown locations, which I assume pay you a significant amount of rent. So them making money is a good thing for them too, because it's a good thing for you. Tell me where I'm wrong. I don't think I am. I'm just not as clever as the Cheesehead TV social media team. So this is why you're perplexed.
Yes.
Simple as that.
Yes. Yes. I don't get it. I understand. So I have a pretty good knowledge, and granted, the pieces have changed, but the organization as a whole, they've changed a few things. But the bottom line is I have a pretty good read on how things work. They are smart. The organization is very smart. They've gotten more and more business savvy, I do believe, as this has gone on. I think Mark Murphy's done a fantastic job, as I've said 100 times on this show. This goes against every principle that I know the organization holds dear. And I don't know why. And I want to understand why. But I don't know why. And that is what leaves me in a perplexed state of mind.
I think I know why.
Tell me why.
I think the football people don't want people at practice. Period. I think the general manager, I think the head coach don't want it. I think they they don't want now again, and I don't know.
And is it competitive advantage or what?
I think so. I think that's exactly what it is. Now I would push back.
Okay.
Now again, I would push back, for example, and say, look, the energy that it creates is a good thing for your team. The environment it creates, right?
Yes.
Like you don't want to look like a schlub with a bunch of people in the stands, right? Not that you're not motivated already, but it's a tiny little more, right? When you're putting Vonnie Holiday on his keister, there's an energy boost there.
Take that, Vonnie. Yeah, exactly. No doubt.
So, and then I would especially say at OTAs, where you're running things at half speed or three-quarters speed, you
should
need
have to pay people to come watch that.
Yeah, you need an energy boost.
Here's the deal, Jason. Judging by your report last Thursday, the Packers should have to pay people to go to it. Oh, my God. Yeah.
I stand by my reporting on that, by the way.
No, I know you do, and I stand by my assessment of your reporting on that.
Yeah,
so we're all.
You should have. Yeah, I couldn't have paid you enough to come watch. You would have felt this. I guarantee. I do declare, you would have felt the same way that Thursday. Not even a 2-minute drill, man. No full-speed moments at all.
Yeah, but we don't want anybody watching that. Yeah, I don't get it.
And by the way, like this is, I think you need to understand to what degree. Maybe people don't know this, that don't live here or aren't at practices. They have these enormous tarps that are now on top of the fences, which the fences then have the green tarps because they're chain link fences. They've got the green tarps that cover that so you can't look through the little diamond shapes in the, right? Yep. But now they also have very large tarps above that go probably, 20, 25 feet in the air. So you can't look in from the Resch Expo Center into practice. Or now they got another building back behind the bleachers that was just built, a new restaurant type building. So they're going to have to put up blockers there too. Is this just run-of-the-mill NFL paranoia? Or is this something that a new president should say, hey, guys, I understand you want to be secretive. If we lose a game because some Packers fan posted something on social media, and now you know that Dontavion Wicks throws the ball left-handed like Randall Cobb once did, then I'll reconsider. But we need to have more practices open to the public. Is this too much of a football paranoia that's causing this? Because that's if you're asking me why the reason is that it is, I think that's the reason. And I have no doubt in my mind that that's it.
Okay, well, if that is the reason, it's real simple. And I don't remember what year we did this when we had every blanket practice open to the public. You go in and you do a session before practice starts in the Hudson Center. This is not hard. So I get it. Coaches are, by nature, very cautious on all of this stuff. This does not need to be the case. And I think when you're a team that is owned by its fans, you better tread carefully because you went through the pattern. It ain't going back up.
No, it is definitely not.
If anything, it's going to continue to shrink, and then they'll say, well, you only have so many opportunities. Make sure you take advantage of it. I don't think that's the way that this should go. And I would argue that it should revert back and do more of it. But the football side of it, I think the management and ownership, but management of the operation is hypersensitive to making sure they're doing everything in their power to win football games. Because if and when that did happen, where Dontavion Wicks' left hand, he had a great little swing pass and threw a touchdown to Jaden Reed, but they blew it up because we saw it on Fox 11 up in Green Bay in their post game in their nightly recaps. And the Philadelphia Eagles saw it, and they blew up Dontavion Wicks, and that cost us a game. Then you won't have a practice ever shown up.
So there are limits on our video capabilities in the media. I personally like to take pictures instead of video, but there are shooting periods for us. They cannot apply those rules to the fans. Obviously, everybody's got a cell phone. They're not taking your cell phone like they clearly should at the Sistine Chapel.
What if we do a full week of Augusta National type phone?
Yeah.
Just say, hey, I know you guys want to be here. Let's do it.
So that was what I was going to say. So first of all, you made the most important point, which is if you've got stuff that you believe has to stay absolutely, positively top secret, then do it inside the Hudson Center before practice starts, like you used to.
Yes.
Secondly, don't you think, and maybe this is naive, but don't you think that most Packers fans are so loyal to their team that if you asked them, hey, look, you feel free to take pictures of yourself at practice, and we're going to apply the same shooting periods to you as we apply to the media. We would like you to honor that. Would the majority, not all, of course, not universally, but would the majority of fans follow that? I would say they would. I think they would.
No.
I believe in Packers fans.
No.
If you told them this is Coach LaFleur has asked you to do this, you're part of our team.
They won't even stop doing the wave for Coach LaFleur. So you think they're not going to take a video and put it up on social media?
They have.
And
I think they've done much better about the wave.
I don't think that's not the response you get from the coaches
after the admonishment from Matt LaFleur.
You know what? Maybe they're just looking at it saying it's just easier to do it this way. Let's stop giving ourselves headaches. We don't want to collect cell phones. Out of hell with it. You guys just go to the pro shop and stuff, and we'll give you snippets afterwards of what happened at practice. Maybe that's the mentality of what it's looking like.
Yeah, I don't think it works that way.
Well, we'll find out.
I don't think you drive traffic to Titletown and to the Lambeau Field atrium by having closed practices.
Well, we'll find out because it keeps dropping. And you know what? The revenue keeps going up. So maybe we're idiots. I'm not opposed to saying that I might be an idiot on this. I can't imagine how you'd spin it, but I'm open to that interpretation.
Well, do I think that this is ever going to change and go the other way? No, I completely agree.
Good luck. I think they're saying good luck.
It is not going to change. At the same time, I do find myself wondering if with a new president who has said that he's going to meet with the football leadership more frequently than Mark Murphy did.
Yeah, get in there. Get some plays in that red zone. Come on, Ed. Drop a couple of those plays. Get them in the hands of Steno and the boys.
Not necessarily to draw up plays, but to discuss other issues. Don't you think it's possible that the new president might want to change that? Or at least be open to, I don't want to say taking on the football people, but to some degree saying basically, look, we need you to do this. It's better for the bottom line. We're very worried about the team leaving Green Bay, so we need to make more money off of our fans when they come to training camp. So we're going to need more open practices. You don't think that that's possible with a new president?
I don't think that is going to be the first hill that he is looking to plant his flag on. No, I don't. Because as I just eloquently stated,
eloquently seems strong.
Practices are going this way, open to the public, and guess which way revenue is going? It's not hard to figure out.
Revenue's going up while practices are going down because right now in the league they've got other revenue streams.
I'm looking at the big picture. I can only go off of the big picture and what the reporting is. I don't know. Obviously, there'd be more. That was my point, and I'm questioning it. But you just went through a litany of the practices. That is going down.
Indeed,
Open
it is.
Practices.
Correct. Yes.
And I'm fairly certain, unless you can correct me with you, I know how meticulous you are. Their revenue.
Yeah, we haven't had that meeting yet, but I'm guessing their revenues continue to climb, yes. So it's not worth the trouble of collecting cell phones like Augusta National.
Seems as if that is the case.
So Eric in Green Bay has an interesting question, and I wonder this too. How many open practices do other teams, he specifically asked about the NFC North, but how many open practices do NFL teams typically have?
It's a good question.
Great question.
I will work on that information.
I'll say this. I know that the Dallas Cowboys actually fly out to continue to expand their fan base out in California.
Yeah, Oxnard.
And have practices just to do that.
Interesting.
So, again, I don't know. Obviously, the Cowboys, you could easily say, well, that's why you don't do it, because they're more interested in that part of it. That's a good comeback to me, actually. I feel like I'm debating myself. And I finally found a worthy adversary.
Tausch. The Tausch.
You'll just have to keep beating yourself. All right. We still have another segment left in the 10 o'clock hour, so we need to get to that. I need to remind you, I'm there right now. UWHoops2015.com. Made them believe the 2015 Wisconsin basketball reunion presented by ESPN Wisconsin. It is less than a week away, a week from yesterday, at the Orpheum in Madison. There are still some tickets left, but they are going fast, and that's not just some sort of sales ploy. I have been told the ticket numbers, and we are running low, but there still are. We want to sell out. That's what we're looking for. Now, some might argue that when I look at this graphic and I see Frank Kaminsky and Sam Decker and Bo Ryan and Josh Gosser, and then I see photoshopped into the frame Ben Brust looking very athletic, like he's going in for a windmill dunk. He wasn't technically on that team. He is going to be the MC for your evening. And there's other surprises planned as well. But you can still get tickets. There's a limited number that are left. We want to make this a sellout. So if you have been mulling going, go to UWHoops2015.com, and that's where you can buy those tickets. Again, UWHoops2015.com. Next Thursday at the Orpheum Theater in Madison. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I would just say that right now I think all options are on the table. I think that they went through that trade thing and they talked to teams, and it's not like those talks are shut down.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
But they didn't go anywhere. And when they don't go anywhere, it opens up the possibility that they could be back.
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Take your game to the next level with Vortex Golf. This employee-owned brand out of Wisconsin brings you premium rangefinders like the Blade, Blade Slope, and the Anarch, packed with features like image stabilization, pin spotter mode, and rock-solid accuracy. Backed by a legendary no-questions-asked VIP lifetime warranty and unmatched customer service, Vortex has you covered. Ready to upgrade your gear? Visit maplehillgolf.com and search Vortex to see the full lineup. Vortex Golf, you can bet on it.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
Aloha! Dreaming of sandy beaches and ocean breezes? JTV's Tropical Treasure Sweepstakes could make that dream come true. Enter for your chance to win a fabulous Hawaiian getaway for two with luxury accommodations, airfare, and spending cash. Plus, just for entering, get $30 off your next qualifying JTV purchase of at least $99 when you opt in for emails. Don't miss out. Visit jtv.com/sweeps and enter by August 3rd. JTV, where paradise awaits.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to AdventKnows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Sip into a flawless summer. Hey, it's KBN's Brad Nortman. Let carbless, ready-to-drink cocktails be your passport to pool parties, patio hangouts, cookouts, and pure summer bliss. Carbless is here to spark a summer of flavor and fun. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and of course, all the good vibes. From fruity flavors to refreshing fizz, Carbless stands out in a sea of same-old seltzers. See what flavors fit your summer. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and enter to win a flawless summer prize pack today.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
I don't wanna move on. I don't wanna know what it's like when you're gone for good. You're slipping through my fingertips a little bit by a little bit. I didn't know the love of you was the happiest I've ever been. So I'm just trying to hold on.
We got a lot going on in the 11 o'clock hour. We've got trivia. We've got Will Riley. We've got Feelgood Friday. Tausch just sent me some of the lip-reading efforts on Murphy's Mashers manager, Pat Murphy. It's pretty good stuff. We will not be able to quote him without losing our jobs on our airwaves. What we can do is talk about the great experience that Tausch has had once he finally joined me as a UW Credit Union member.
Yeah, if only I had known from Jason earlier how much earlier I could have been a UW Credit Union member. But I am here, and I'm excited to be one now. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here forever. You, proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years, are going to help you reach your financial goals. And I just keep seeing UW Credit Union. You go to all these different events, you just keep seeing them again, a big part of the community. That's one of the reasons I joined UW Credit Union. I also want to keep my banking local. I love their member first service, but for being honest, I love Bucky. You guys know I love Bucky Badger. And if you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes you do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Get your Bucky card. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards. They're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel. It's a glow-up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. One in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Summer in Milwaukee means a couple of things: Brewers baseball and live music. Get the best of both when the Brewers take on the Rockies June 27th, featuring a post-game concert by Nelly. Then the first 25,000 fans at the game on June 28th get a Pat Murphy Manager of the Year bobblehead, courtesy of Toyota. Get ready for a weekend you'll be talking about all summer. Get your tickets at Brewers.com.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an east side event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
O'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. Riley Yauk just asked me an important question. Do you know what you'll be discussing to start the 11 o'clock hour? To which I said, no, I do not.
Oh, that is good.
Because I feel like, and maybe this is another example of, and this is in no way a slight on Riley, because he is one of our rising stars. And we certainly did not have his dating techniques on the show sheet to begin the program. But it does seem like, especially when Jesse's here, maybe something he does or something he says triggers something in you, Marky, that leads to you having a thought that leads to us being sidetracked from the scheduled topic. Now, I have the rundown in front of me, and I talked to Devonte Wyatt at the same time as our friend Bill Huber from Sports Illustrated did. He wrote about him. I have saved that story because I would like to write it a little sooner before camp, as we're getting to ramp up into training camp mode. But that is a topic. It's a good topic. He got the fifth-year option. Quay Walker didn't. Quay Walker didn't participate in the offseason program, and I saw him go by on one of those one-legged scooters with his ankle that he injured in Seattle in some sort of boot. So I don't know if he had surgery. We didn't get to talk to Quay. He did say hello to me while he was riding the stationary bike one day at practice, but that was the extent of my interaction with Quay. So I don't know what's going on with him, but he's in a contract year now, as are many other players, by the way, on this team. Devonte Wyatt is not. He got the fifth-year option, which means, barring a trade, I suppose, he is going to be on this team not only this year, but next year as well. And certainly it's possible that he will have a breakout year and prove to have been worth being a first-round draft pick. So that's an interesting topic. I'm certainly happy to discuss it. But I do feel like I have maybe squelched you a little bit, and your creativity, your gosh darn creativity.
So what would make you think that? Because is there ever a time that if something pops into my head or is triggered by something either you or Riley say, that I don't interject? I'm trying to get better about not immediately, but very closely to. Does that not happen? So if that is indeed the case, don't you think I would have brought that to the table as we are sitting here on a Friday?
For sure, and that's why I'm putting it more on myself and Riley and not on you, that neither of us, other than his dating information, which I thought was gold, by the way.
Gold, Jerry. Gold.
Has triggered anything in that old noggin, old T.
Yeah.
So have we not brought the requisite, goods to get you to say, you know what's interesting? Like, kind of like Andy Rooney. Did you ever notice? You're like our modern day Andy Rooney.
You know what's funny though? You give me grief all the time about J.R. Ewing and all of my old references, and then you go with maybe the oldest dude that ever lived on TV as your reference point to that. And you're comparing me to him? My eyebrows are nowhere near as bushy as Andy Rooney's.
For the younger audience, could you elaborate on who Andy Rooney is? I've never heard of this guy.
So he is someone you should know who they are. So I highly recommend finding out more about him. He was in World War II.
Oh.
So I happened upon him. I think this is why he was in my brain just now, comparing Tausch to him.
He was on a Law and Order episode?
He was not. No, he was on CBS, which you would think someone who is such a devoted CBS watcher like yourself, with Murder, She Wrote and Dallas and Falcon's Crest and everything else you used to watch on that channel.
I haven't watched a CBS outside of a little bit of Survivor that when my kids were interested. I don't think I've watched CBS, and I wouldn't tell this to Kelly Call because he's our boy, but CBS has been for older people for a long time.
Well, first of all, Kelly Call doesn't work there anymore. So he might say, you know what, Tausch, that's fair criticism. They didn't listen to me. I wanted to get younger, and we didn't do it. I was like Goody at CBS. I wanted younger shows.
Sure.
But be that as it may, he was I believe at D-Day, or he was on Omaha Beach for one. And then for very, 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 very long time, he was on 60 Minutes.
How many years was he on? Because Joshy's getting after us. What year did Andy Rooney start on 60 Minutes?
Andy Rooney
70s?
joined CBS in 1949.
Okay, so Josh, come on now.
He is. I mean, look. Can you give us a hard time? He passed away in 2011, but he was still like on 60 Minutes, close to the end, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. So it is not. Let's put it this way: a reference to Andy Rooney, while he was very old and older than, say, Larry Hagman and Patrick Duffy were on Dallas. his last episode of 60 Minutes far more recently and in the lifetimes of Josh DiMaggio and Riley Yauk than Dallas. Dallas went off the air in 88?
90,
perhaps?
no, it was like 92, 93, I think they went off. It was like late night.
Anyway,
early 90s,
you are oftentimes very Andy. You know what I've noticed? Which, by the way,
I don't think that's a terrible. I don't think that's a terrible observation by you.
Yeah, thanks. What do you think of my Andy Rooney? Did you ever notice? Is that pretty good?
Well, be it as Riley has no idea what but yes, I don't think that's bad.
I don't.
You're the only one on the panel that can judge that. Riley right now is going to YouTube and finding some Andy Rooney sound for us to play before we play trivia. Nevertheless, it has been a while since he's been on television. I am not going to deal with Josh DiMaggio. This is our brand. And there are more, as you saw on Wednesday at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, when they also have a lunch special for the 55 and over crowd, where you get to eat for half price. We packed them in the restaurant at lunchtime.
You get to eat half priced if
I believe that was the deal, yes.
There. You're almost there.
I'm on the cusp. I ate for free, which was even better. But be that as it may.
Sure.
All right. I as much as I could talk about Andy Rooney all day, my point was, usually you have your Andy Rooney type. Before we talk about Devonte Wyatt, have you noticed? And there hasn't been that, and I feel like
you guys,
that's on me.
Well, it's been a lot of Jaire and a lot of training camp practices. It
has.
That typically, it's tough to maneuver off of those issues. So I understand it. I'm not mad at you guys for not doing anything interesting today. No.
Sorry, I haven't done anything interesting. Let's do something interesting and play trivia then. Riley Yauk, did you write these questions?
I did write these questions.
Are they about MMA, mixed martial arts?
No, I was inspired by Game 6 yesterday of the NBA Finals. Got me thinking about the Bucks Game 6 of their NBA Finals in 2021 and their playoff run. Exactly. So the questions are surrounding the Bucks 2021 playoff run.
All right, so they won the 2021 title. So why are you asking for caller 22?
Because Chris Middleton is awesome, and that's his number.
And his number is going to be retired, and I'm going to collect a nice little stipend on that.
All right, well, there you have it. Caller 22 right now for trivia, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 2 for trivia, caller 22 for trivia is next. Vortex Golf, of course, is the proud sponsor of Wilde and Tausch Trivia, and the category again, the 2021 Bucks playoffs, written by Riley Yauk. We will judge the quality of his questions with caller 22, 844-770-3776. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I would just say that right now I think all options are on the table. I think that they went through that trade thing and they talked to teams, and it's not like those talks are shut down.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
But they didn't go anywhere. And when they don't go anywhere, it opens up the possibility they could be back.
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Brian Balaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
Get organized with great storage solutions from Menards. The Masterforce 4-tier industrial duty shelving unit is a storage solution designed to provide unmatched durability and stability to your workspace. Each shelf supports up to 3,000 pounds. Keep your workspace organized and clutter-free with the Masterforce 4-tier industrial duty shelving unit. On sale now. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 5.95 to 8-ounce selected varieties Sargento deli-style sliced or American singles, 2 for $6. Gallon selected varieties Prairie Farms white or chocolate milk, $3.99. 10 to 12-ounce selected varieties Essential everyday tortilla chips, 2 for $4.50. 56 to 57.6-ounce selected varieties extra laundry detergent, $2.99.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh, pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
Truck drivers, the job you have today might not be the one you want tomorrow, and that's okay. At Schneider, our transfer team is here to help you if you decide the job you picked isn't the right fit, or if you come across life changes that require a different schedule or home time. Last year, nearly 2,000 Schneider drivers transferred to different opportunities at the company that better met their lifestyle. Find the driving job that fits yours and your family's needs. Apply now at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
A thrilling Will Riley coming up a little bit later here in the 11 o'clock hour. But before that, it's time to play some trivia.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
Let's welcome in our contestant. It is Ryan in Madison. Is that what you said?
Yes,
Riley?
It is.
Riley is in Madison, but Ryan is also in Madison, and he's our contestant for Riley's Trivia. Ryan, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you all doing today?
We are all super. Tausch, are you participating or spectating?
Absolutely, I am. Does it not feel like this Bucks championship was like 2 decades ago already?
No.
Doesn't it feel that way?
It feels ancient.
It doesn't?
No.
It feels
no.
like a long
When you put it into perspective of 2 decades ago was the best 4-12 team in NFL history that you were on. No, it doesn't feel that long, but it does feel longer than it actually is. All right, question number 1, Ryan in Riley Trivia, is this. Before the Milwaukee Bucks defeated the Phoenix Suns in the 2021 NBA Finals, which team did they beat in the Eastern Conference Finals? Did they beat the Indiana Pacers, the Atlanta Hawks, or the Oshkosh North Spartans?
I should know this. It seems obvious to go A, but I don't know why. I want to say Atlanta because that's what I feel like it was.
Let's go.
Pretty good reasoning there. Well done. Correctamundo. It was the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawks. Question 2, Tausch.
Giannis had a legendary Game 6 performance en route to being named the unanimous Finals MVP. How many points did he score in that game? Was it 45, 40, or 50?
I thought he scored 50 that game because it was like a big deal.
Yes, he did, and I believe he went to a chicken place and got 50 nuggets. They also sell ice cream at that chicken place, but I'm not going to mention it. All right, chance to go 3 for 3 and to have 4 entries into the drawing, which is coming up next, assuming Jesse left Riley with all the requisite poker chips. Question 3, Ryan, is this. In Game 6 against the New York Nets. Now, were they the Brooklyn Nets at that point? Were they the New Jersey Nets? I don't remember them ever being the New York Nets.
It's probably the Brooklyn Nets. I was tired.
You were driving back from Wrigley. In Game 6 against the Nets, the Bucks won in overtime thanks to Kevin Durant infamously leaving his foot on the line for a 3, which turned it into a 2-point basket. What is Durant's shoe size?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. That is nice.
Now, just a refresher, and I'm a little nervous about this, because, again, his foot is one size. He wears a shoe size larger than his foot, and that was the storyline, that if he'd have worn shoes that actually fit him properly, it probably wouldn't have been on the line. But, nevertheless, according to Riley's correct answer that is highlighted on my sheet, does Kevin Durant wear a size 16 shoe, a size 15 shoe, or a size 18 shoe?
So I don't know this one at all. It's a guess, and I usually would guess a C, but I'm gonna wait. Which one is? It was
A 16, 14. B 15, C 18.
I'm gonna go A. It's C, isn't it?
It is C. Yeah, it is C.
I
tried to help you without really helping you there, and gave you the letters.
No, you did. You did.
I did the best I could without cheating, and then having Pat Murphy scream MFing cheater at me.
You know. I'm also at work right now delivering produce, so it's like a little difficult for me to totally vibe what I'm doing.
Fresh blueberries for Tausch to make a Maine-inspired blueberry pie later.
Yeah, babyface Tausch, my man.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
What is the biggest quantity, the produce that you deliver? Is it lettuce? What is the top one?
Onions.
It depends. Yeah, it's onions and potatoes because they're the basis of everything. It depends on who's ordering it. I mean, I just delivered
restaurant
like 5
at a
cases
restaurant.
of lemons.
5 cases of lemons.
Depends on which restaurant. Like
They're
I said,
making
a lot
lemonade.
of onions, potatoes.
Okay. Baby loves lemons.
I mean, we do a lot.
Loves lemons.
We do. I deliver all over Madison.
Okay.
Well, thanks for taking us along for your ride all day. We appreciate that.
Not a problem.
We also
I'm not
appreciate
driving
you
right now, so I'm stopped.
Well, way to be safe. Thank you. Yes. I mean, maybe you could have probably gotten 2 out of 3 even if you were moving in your vehicle. But be that as it may, you did get 2 out of 3.
What a jerk.
Well, with that third question, that was hard. That's Riley. I'm not saying Riley should be banned, but
I thought.
No.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. I thought the logic behind Wilde and Tausch trivia, you have a gimme in 1, a 50-50 shot
I should
in
have said
2.
C. You guys always put it on C. That's what I should have done.
And a guess in 3. That I guess we put on C a lot.
I didn't think 1 was a gimme. I think it was.
Well, let me tell you this. I'll leave Ryan with this from our good friend Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh boy!
Believe you can, and you're halfway there.
Darn right.
So the next time you play,
you know it.
Just like Teddy said, believe you can, and then you're halfway there. Whether it's in delivering all your produce or getting Wilde and Tausch trivia.
If you can, you will, or if you will, you can, or something.
I just told you. I just got my quote from my quote people. Yeah. What did he say?
Your quote people.
Ryan's going to snack on some fresh berries, he said.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I brought extra berries with me so I can eat them on the truck.
Wow.
Yeah, strawberries.
Very health conscious. All right. Hey, Ryan, bottom line is you got 3 of the possible 4 entries. We're going to draw the winner next, so stay tuned. Maybe it'll be you. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
All right. Take it easy. Take care. Be good.
Love you guys.
I'll say this. If Ryan doesn't believe that he's going to win the Vortex package,
then he won't win. He's not halfway there.
He should believe that he can, and then he's going to be halfway there. Thanks.
That sounds a little more convoluted than Teddy Roos.
Speak softly and walk with a big stick. Or however it goes.
Or a container of berries, as it were. All right, we need to get to Will Riley, and we need to draw this week's Vortex Golf Trivia winner.
If I may. Thank you, Riley, for bringing.
We finally found something that triggered an Andy Rooney moment.
If Ryan told you that he would bring a huge box of any produce once a month for a year to your house and drop it, what are you picking? You get 1 calendar year of unlimited produce for your family for a month, every month. What are you picking for him to drop off at your doorstep?
I'm going raspberries, 100%.
I'm picking strawberries. Not even close for me. I love strawberries. My favorite fruit.
Okay.
I'm a
what do you
raspberry
got there,
guy.
Blueberry buddy?
I would I have to look at it more. I can't look at it selfishly. Just for me, I'd go blueberry because I love blueberries, and they're got the antioxidants, and they're good with cereal, et cetera, pies. I think we'd probably. This is going to sound crazy.
Onions.
I think I'd go multicolored carrots.
Wow.
That's what I think we'd go with.
What?
Yeah, I do. Sarah and Eleanor eat carrots like they're rabbits. They love carrots.
Why multicolored though? Just because they're cool?
I think they like it because it's. No, I think it looks. Yeah, it's for plating and different things. I think they enjoy that.
Plating.
I think I'd
charcuterie.
Pick, yeah, I think that's what I'd pick. And I'm not a carrot guy, but I love carrot cake, which is a fascinating dilemma.
That's servant leadership right there.
Yeah, thank you.
There's no way, if you're getting a pallet dropped off every month, that you're picking carrots.
Listen, we eat chili a lot, and we put carrots in our chili on a regular. Okay?
On the regular.
No, on a regular. Carrots. I'm not a big fan, but I'm telling you, like the multicolored
what an
carrot,
unselfish
it
teammate.
Freezes.
Pass it up as free blueberries from Ryan.
Well, and blueberries don't last as long unless you freeze them.
Make a nice shepherd's pie with those carrots.
And some rabbit. All right, that's it for trivia. We need to pick a winner. We need to get to O'Reilly. That's all next with your multicolored carrot delivery It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is back at the Bog. Tune in all day July 15th for our ESPN Milwaukee crew having fun and hitting the links. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is sponsored by Marquette Athletics, PCI Construction, Discount Liquor, Loyal Family Renovations, The Jewelry Center, and Tony Wendorf and Associates. Join in on the fun July 15th on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins 2-foot party subs are back. Choose from the club, ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99. Feeds 5 to 8 people and requires 24-hour notice to order. And now you can complete your party by adding a party chip bag and a dozen chocolate chip cookies for just $4.99. Order today in store, online, or on the app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Now through August 17th. Play free daily in the Quick Rewards app and earn bonus plays with every eligible purchase. Grab one with hot food. That's 2 bonus plays. Each week, the cash prize climbs by $5,000, all the way to a $250,000 grand prize. So open the app and get climbing. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents residing in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota, or Wisconsin. Ends August 17th. Bonus plays require qualifying purchase. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
At QC Kinetics, we're all about keeping you in the game, helping you get lasting relief from joint pain. That's why we're excited to announce that QC Kinetics is now partnering with the National Pickleball League. So many of our satisfied patients are avid pickleball players, and they're thrilled with how we've helped them get back on the court. As lead sponsor of the National Pickleball League, we're committed to help pickleball fans of all ages with the latest, most advanced regenerative cell treatments. These treatments use your body's own healing power, revitalizing and restoring damaged joint tissue the natural way, with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Whether you're a pickleball fanatic or enjoy golf or running or tennis, stay in the game with help from QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, proud to promote active, pain-free living as a lead sponsor of the National Pickleball League. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Is your business ready to take the next step? At Fifth Third Commercial Bank Wisconsin, our team of local experienced advisors is here to propel you forward. We understand your needs and offer in-depth expertise, cutting-edge technology, and tailored solutions to streamline your cash collections, automate payments, and safeguard your assets with top-notch fraud mitigation tools. Contact Fifth Third in downtown Milwaukee today. Let's eliminate the non-value add work so you can focus on what truly matters, growing your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
What is this tune you've got fired up?
This was just in the stack. It's called "The Nights" by Avicii.
Oh, Avicii. All right,
rest in peace.
Ceviche's good. You get enough lemon juice on there, it's good. Keep it fresh.
And if you get 5 cases of lemons dropped off by Ryan in Madison, then you got plenty of lemons for your ceviche. What we need now is a trivia winner, and Riley, bedazzled in all of his Badger Cardinal red, is ready to select this week's winner.
As you can see, my eyes are closed. I have no idea who I just selected. It is Hugh in Waukesha. Congratulations, Hugh.
You gotta be kidding me!
That's pretty good.
You knew! That's great. Sorry, Ryan.
Yeah.
You are not a winner, Ryan. Sorry.
No produce for us.
No multicolored carrots being delivered to the Tauschers now as a result. Instead, it's time for Whoa, Riley.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, this wasn't in my initial plan for Whoa, Riley, but it came across my desk during the show from Ryan Wollersheim and a couple texters as well. That's
my desk.
Tausch, I'm not sure if you are aware, but you have made CBS's list of all quarter century team for the Green Bay Packers.
What?
I was not aware.
Yeah, so congratulations. I'm honored to break the news to you.
Was that from CBS, you said?
Yeah. What are the odds?
You know, let me reframe. Okay.
They really do like old people.
Let me reframe. I want to say CBS with their great lineups of Dallas,
Did you ever notice?
Survivor, and The Amazing Race, and what else was on? I legit, if you forced me to pick from 2000 to 2025, naming CBS shows, I don't think I'm going to name you a bunch outside of Survivor and Amazing Race. But thank you for CBS. That's thank you to CBS and to Kelly and all of the. And I know
Kelly's
Kelly
not there anymore.
I know he's
He
not.
had nothing to do with
Go
this.
check out his movie on Roku. So that's awesome.
Is that a channel, or is that a streaming service, or is that a device? Roku.
It's probably everything.
It is. All right, here is, since Riley brought it up, I did see this come across my desk earlier in the show as well. Quarterback, Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. They took 4 running backs. Like, you get, this is, I don't want to say.
Let me see if I can guess.
I don't want to say anything dismissive. Yes, your running backs. There are 4 of them.
AG, RG, EL, and AJ.
Nailed it. For those of you that were not playing the initial game, Amon Green, Aaron Jones, Ryan Grant, and Eddie Lacy are the 4 running backs. We'll just do offense because I don't want to eat up all of your time. The wide receivers, Tausch, there are
how many?
6.
That's
6.
a lot. Driver, Jennings, Jordy, Devonte. Ooh, boy. Cobb?
1 to go.
Oh, I thought that was 6.
That's
James
5.
Jones.
There you go. You got all 6. 2 for you have now gotten it, and we know you would have gotten the quarterbacks. 2 tight ends.
Ooh.
Jimmy Graham is not one of them.
I think
Bennett.
Bubba has to make it.
That's 1.
Man, I don't know if the longevity is going to get this guy through. I'm going to say J. Mike.
Correct again. All right, now
perfect.
We close it out.
The big one.
With the offensive line, there are 10 of them. Had they kept only 9, I don't know who the odd man out might have been. But 10 offensive linemen, you know one of them is you. Who are the other 9?
Cliffy.
Correct. I think we need a bell here every time he gets one.
All right,
Riley.
D-Bach.
2, 3, including you.
Sitton.
4.
TJ.
5.
Bulaga.
6.
How many are there total? 10?
10.
Four more.
Boy, I think they're going to go Corey Lindsley.
7.
I just don't know if they're where the longevity thing hits. Like, that gets tough here. Because I would think Scotty Wells should be on there.
8.
Wow.
Can you do it? You have 2 to go. 2 more, and you will have been perfect on offense.
Yeah. Who am I missing?
No pressure here.
I think they're going to go Elton Jenkins.
9.
Wow.
You are 1 away. 1 away. Let me know if you need a hint.
Throw me a bone here, because I want to go perfect. I mean, I'm narrowing it down. I think Mike Flanagan should be in the mix. I don't know if they remember that. Like, I don't know if they're thinking that way. There's got to be somebody in that 14 team that I'm forgetting about. On the
Or
O-line.
maybe someone that you played with that you're forgetting about.
Yeah, I just said Flanny. 25 years. They need probably 5 or 6 years.
3-time Pro Bowler.
It's going to be
Welcome
Marco?
you to the huddle in Buffalo.
Marco.
Welcome you to the huddle, Marco Rivera.
I didn't know if they were gonna. I didn't know if they'd go because he left in 04. That's only 4 years in the last 25. So Marco is it over? Okay.
Marco over Flanny, and a perfect run by you. Whoa, Riley! Whoa, Riley! That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. One of my originally planned topics. I don't know if you guys were watching the Brewers-Cubs game yesterday, but at one point, Sal Frelick took a big old hack, and the bat slipped out of his hands and got stuck in the net. And immediately afterwards, someone Brian Anderson dubbed as a finance bro, he was in a bright blue polo and khakis, climbed the net. Like, he literally had to lunge off the brick and climb up the net to rip the bat out of the net. And after he got that, he went down. Everyone clapped for him. Then the workers came and took the bat away, kicked him out before bringing him back into the stadium. It was an insane sequence. He got a massive ovation when they let him back in. It was awesome. So is that IPT to climb the net to grab a bat?
Apparently.
Or is that awesome? I'm in the camp of that it's awesome. Ultimately, Sal Frelick ended up signing a bat for him and giving it to him after the game.
Yeah, I don't know on this. I saw the clip of this, and BA and I don't know who was doing the game with him.
It was Tim Dillard.
We're really having some fun with this guy being what'd you call him, a finance bro?
Finance bro.
I don't know if that's like preppy and, like you just got done with Wall Street or whatever, and you're out at the game dressed up. I think it's kind of a boss move. Like, you turn into Spider-Man and climb up that net. I dig it. I understand why the Wrigley Field personnel people don't want it. I think it's pretty cool.
So, by reprimanding him and removing him and taking the bat away from him, it clearly would discourage people from doing that in the future, right? Copycats.
Yes.
Sure. Yes.
Well, if you give him the bat and you let him back in, have you now not basically said, yeah, it's going to be an inconvenience if you engage in this behavior, but we'll let you back in? Like, it is IPT. I'm sure it's a major insurance risk. Like, they don't want people climbing nets. But I, personally, am glad that he got rewarded for his bro efforts. his Spider-Man-esque effort. So I'm glad he got it. I don't have a problem with it. It's a good story.
Okay. I'm glad you guys are of the same ilk because I thought it was sick watching it live. Dude got up. Rewarded
so
for his
how
efforts.
would we have, in fairness though, because all is that ends well, or whatever that saying is.
Yeah.
How would we have felt if this finance bro
had fallen to his
climbed
death.
up and then fell and smashed his head open like a watermelon?
Like Ryan dropping a watermelon while he's delivering it.
And then we're having a different story.
All this stuff is cute and fun until someone
That's
falls
my
off the
point.
net.
Mhm.
And
that would have been bad.
So I'm asking, how would we even be talking about it today?
Yeah, if someone fell to their death at the game, yes, I would think we'd be talking about it.
Yeah, or if he was
Not in the
severely
way we are
injured.
now.
Yeah, it wouldn't be nearly as fun if he had tried to yank it out and then just fell back.
No, Riley, you're right. It definitely would not be more fun if he had fallen and seriously injured himself.
I'm just saying, I'm imagining it as like a Looney Tunes type scenario where he's
That's
like
not real
the
life.
bat.
Those are not documentaries.
Unfortunately not. It's really funny in my head, but he survives and it's totally fine in my head.
This would be a good time for a Gruber read if you got one, Jason. I'm not sure if you've already read it.
If you've climbed up a fence and then injured yourself in a game, call
Well,
Gruber
hey, you
offices.
remember, not to go back to the old Andy Rooney, but you remember when the dude at the Bears game jumped and caught the field goal?
Yes.
And landed like a cat. He landed like a kitty cat.
Yeah, he'd had a few beverages, I believe, but he could have seriously injured himself as well. Unfortunately, he survived and then did an interview on Monday Night Football afterward, if I recall correctly. All right, that is it for Whoa, Riley. Yes, indeed, if you have been seriously injured in an accident or climbing up to retrieve a Major League player's bat, there's only one call to make. Gruber Law says one call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Gruber Law says one call, that's all. Feel Good Friday wraps up the show and wraps up the week. Presented by Hallman Lindsay Paints next. It's Wilde.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnatthebog.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor. If it's a celebrate or tailgate, when you're gonna recreate upstate. If it's a holiday, birthday, any date, you can save at discount liquor.
It's the world's largest music festival, and you'll be there compliments of Discount Liquor. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. There is no other party like Summerfest. Buy any one 15-pack of 16-ounce aluminum bottles of Miller Lite, Coors Light, or Coors Banquet, or any one 12-pack of Happy Thursday Spiked Refresher, and receive one free Summerfest ticket. Visit us at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and in Barstow and Maine in downtown Waukesha.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
See us for your free Summerfest ticket, and check out our specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Red, white, wide in Vroom. Celebrate freedom with horsepower at American Place Casino, located in Waukegan, Illinois. Don't miss your chance to win a 2025 Ford Mustang Dark Horse Premium. Free bonus entries daily, June 20th through July 5th. New members, listen up. Join AP Rewards and grab 25 bonus entries daily during the promotion period. And don't miss the grand finale, drawing for the Mustang on Saturday, July 5th. Visit AmericanPlace.com to learn more. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Avondale Roofing is knocking on your door. Leaking roof? Man, that's a shame. Call the real pros. We running this game. We patch it, thatch it, no need to stress. Our crew shows up and cleans up the mess. No drips, no drafts, no drama at all. Just tight new shingles, then a leak-proof hall. Hey.
It's nothing but Avondale, baby. They keep it dry when the weather gets crazy. Hey.
Visit AvondaleRoofing.com. That is AvondaleRoofing.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Born and raised under the rain and a western wind.
It is time for Feelgood Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. Tausch, you've talked many times on this show about what coaches meant to you and how you try to be as a coach. On a smaller level, I certainly try to do that as well. But I've always thought, coaches and teachers can have a great impact on you in the most important years of your development as a person. And certainly your parents are vital too, but if you have a great coach who brings out the best in you and makes you feel good about yourself and helps you become the best version of yourself, that's a pretty powerful thing to be able to do. And Maddie has had that coach in Cal Crom, who has been the Ashwaubenon track and field and cross-country coach. And so Maddie was a freshman this year at Ashwaubenon. She got her letter in both of those sports, and she was coached in both those sports by Cal, who after 17 years at Ashwaubenon has decided that it's time to step aside. His dad, who is extremely close to him, has been battling cancer, so he's chosen to step away from coaching. And while there was a lot of disappointment and a lot of tears when he made the announcement at the season-ending banquet, there was a lot of appreciation as well. And we are trying to look at this for Maddie, and Maddie is trying to look at it as if she'd have gotten there 1 year later, she would have missed him entirely. And she had a great year with him. He has really brought out the best in her, given her confidence. She has made two of her best friends through those sports. It has been everything we could have asked for from a coach and from an experience. And so for my Feel Good Friday, I just wanted to thank Cal publicly. I know he's a big fan of the show, listens on podcasts because he's busy working, but he has become a good friend of mine, and he means the world to us and to Maddie. He has been so great for her development as both a runner and as a person. So wanted to take this time to thank Cal. He is my Feel Good Friday, and we will miss him, but we understand his decision, and we wish him and his family the best moving forward. That's it for this week. That's it for today. We will be back on Monday. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.